there is a lot of trash crypto content out there, and we're going to go over some. We're going over CoinGape's trash article, 10 cryptocurrencies with the best tokenomics, and they explain it badly, and they're just really trying to push you towards their partners. And this is a common tactic with crypto content. They really have to make something and promote their partners. Now, we are really going to dig into CoinGape here, and, no offense to Mike, if that is your real name, because if we dig into Mike's profile, we'll see his picture, and then we're going to search Google Images for this, and then he appears in 2 other articles, and in this picture, you can kind of see they use a filter there, and his name here is Lawrence Warigi, Lawrence Warigi, and in this other article by BitNation, same name. So they could just be using his name, and this just could be some content farm based in India, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I just looked at the careers page and noticed that most positions are based in India. And before we go over our roast in tokenomics, is this roast deserved of CoinGape? Well, let's look at a couple other articles. How to participate in crypto pre-sales, everything you need to know. Every pre-sale is just going to be awful. You're absolutely going to lose your money instantly, and that's why ICOs have been banned in the United States as well as other countries. How to discover crypto pre-sales, the ultimate guide. Yeah, that's going to be bad. Low supply tokens to buy this month. Cryptos to buy under $10 that can make you rich in 2024. That's already appealing to the newer audience that doesn't have the experience. That is gonna cause you to lose money. 3 trending Launchpad tokens to buy in May 2024. And then I looked at the list, and these aren't exactly Launchpad tokens. There's Internet Computer, ChainGPT, and Cardano. And if you know just at least a little bit about those projects, they're not really Launchpad tokens, and most importantly, every Launchpad project has been a complete scam. Just every Launchpad project out there, they've never survived long term just because the business model doesn't work, and it's one of the easiest projects to generate. There's existing code out there, people copy and paste it and say, hey, we're doing a Launchpad, here's our presale, and then you are left with tokens that have no value. And then other articles like Crypto Gifts Ideas for Mother's Day Celebration. Yeah, if you got your mom crypto for Mother's Day, you messed up. I'm in crypto. I have a mom. I would not get her crypto. So, yeah, I'm not trying to start a fight there. And I thought this picture is a little weird. Like her arm looks really big. So let's search with Google. Looks like it's not really used in other places. Something similar by Motley Fool. But the same image is used by Cryptonomist. Australia crypto women to double by 2021. Okay. And then free pick. So it looks like there is a lack of women in cryptocurrency when it comes to stock photos. So that might be an underserved market if you happen to be a woman who wants to make photos like this. All right, that was a long way to start this video, but yeah, let's take a look at some trash articles about tokenomics and then the real tokenomics behind these cryptocurrencies. Also, I don't mean just to call out CoinGape. A lot of content creators or news articles and other internet sources are guilty of this. There just isn't a real face to it, and I'm a real face, so yeah, please don't take this personally and cyberbully me online for me calling you out and roasting you. I'm just here to help educate people about real crypto content and not this really poorly written ChatGPT content. All right, let's jump in. Cryptos with the best tokenomics. Bitcoin. Tokenomics of Bitcoin. Here's why Bitcoin Tokenomics is one of the best. It's so awkwardly written. It has a limited supply of 21 million coins. This creates scarcity. Bitcoin uses deflationary model that occurs every 4 years. That's the halving. Bitcoin adopts decentralized governance via its consensus mechanism. I don't think it does. I don't think Bitcoin does that. So we can easily check with AI. I am using Google's Gemini and community consensus. This is where developers, miners, and users discuss and debate BIPs, Bitcoin Improvement Proposals. If there's broad agreement, the protocol can be updated. This approach creates a system of checks and balances where no single group has absolute control. It's more like a dynamic negotiation than traditional governance. And some key points: Bitcoin doesn't have formal voting mechanisms. Consensus building and persuasion are crucial for change. Participants like miners, developers, and users all have a stake in the network's health, influencing decisions. And just to sum that up, I don't think this has any impact on their tokenomics. But the real tokenomics behind Bitcoin is based on its supply and its emissions. It's how many coins people can mine every year, and the miners get paid for processing these transactions on the network. And if there are a lot of transactions and demand goes up, then the price of the transactions on the Bitcoin network also go up. So with the Bitcoin halving and the lower amount of rewards as that gets halved every 4 years, that does several things. One, it makes it more difficult to mine Bitcoin, it makes it a little more scarce. And on the other side of that, since less people are going to mine Bitcoin, since it's not as profitable, that also reduces the amount of people mining Bitcoin, it reduces its security, it reduces its decentralization. So there are pros and cons when it comes to Bitcoin's tokenomics, and I wouldn't say it is the best out there just because it was one of the first cryptocurrencies and tokenomics have evolved much more since then. But that's essentially the tokenomics of Bitcoin, and the value of Bitcoin comes from it being a store of value similar to gold. And as more countries are adopting it, as more countries are considering it legal tender or authorizing ETFs to be approved in their stock markets, it's growing in demand. So that's the main reason why people are bullish on Bitcoin long term. It is becoming a global asset. And the reason why we're roasting this CoinGape article today is because it appeared in my Google News feed, and I wasted time reading it because it didn't help me at all. So I want to help you out by explaining some tokenomics. Now, having good tokenomics is not enough to make a project successful. Anyone can set up good tokenomics. It all depends on demand. Now, demand in good tokenomics long term can prove to be very good, but what really moves things is marketing. That is the easiest thing to move a coin. It's the easiest way to get attention, and that's why we see a lot of meme coins pumping, while more serious projects don't see as much attention. So with that, this video is sponsored by Guild of Guardians, which has both marketing and good tokenomics. So in just a moment, we'll take a look at the tokenomics of Guild of Guardians, a mobile play-to-own RPG. You summon guardians, fight in dungeons, and you can earn items that you own, and they are tradable. Guild of Guardians is published by Immutable. It is the blockchain for top-tier Web3 games, and it's built to be a very casual game that you can just pick up at any time. And in the tokenomics, the GOG token, Guild of Guardians, is a utility token that will be used across the Guild of Guardians universe with several utility cases. GOG tokens' primary emission in-game is via leaderboard rewards, so you do earn the tokens if you do get on that leaderboard, and you also earn the token from other competitive or collaborative game modes. So there is a guild system, and you have to fight with your guild, and you can earn tokens that way. And as for utility, gems are needed to mint gaming NFTs, GOG is required at altered transactions. This is one of the major components to the gameplay of Guild of Guardians. GOG can be used to buy assets in secondary sales and future NFT primary sales. GOG tokens are distributed back to players via active staking rewards from Guardians Guild Limited. So you can stake the token, you can earn rewards. And lastly, it's used for governance and voting. So when you're looking at tokenomics, you want a reason why people will have that token, and you also want to make sure there is a balance between supply and demand. You don't want a token that is just being pumped out for free that anyone can get easily, because if they don't need it and they're getting it for free, then the token can dump. So there is risk out there, so that's why you have to fully understand tokenomics, and you have to use the applications out there to really understand how supply and demand work, and that's how you can also create your own opinion on it. So if all that sounds good, there is a link in the description where you can get started with Guild of Guardians. Moving on, we're taking a look at Ethereum. Now, before we do, at the right here, there are also ads here. Top pre-sale, best crypto casino, top exchanges. Just be very careful out there, and you have to think about the incentives for them to put that out there and the incentives for you. Will you actually get something out of that, and at what risk? And it might seem a little hypocritical because I just had an ad read out here, but it is a real game. It is backed by one of the larger L2s out there, and there's a real product. And you don't have to buy anything to start playing Guild of Guardians today. All right, I totally sold out, but I'm okay with that. And now I'm just going to keep talking, so we move on and change the subject, the tokenomics of Ethereum. So here's why they like it. Flexible supply with no hard cap. The issuance rate adjusts according to the network activity. The transition to Ethereum 2.0 improves scalability and uses staking to reduce inflation. Ethereum uses a decentralized governance model. Now, not all of that is exactly correct. Ethereum has the best tokenomics model out there as long as people use Ethereum or build on top of Ethereum, because then they're using Ethereum indirectly. And there are some good sites to track that, like ultrasound.money, and you can see the ETH supply over the last 7 days. If this trend continues, Ethereum is going to be inflationary, but if we look at the all-time rate, we can see that Ethereum is deflationary, meaning there are less tokens out there than there were about 2 years ago since the merge. So since the merge, there has been a drop in supply of 0.2%, and that's because people are using Ethereum, and whenever you use the Ethereum blockchain, a portion of the gas fees get burned. And it's true, Ethereum does not have a maximum supply. The supply increases by around 4 to 5% every year, but if enough people use Ethereum and enough transactions get burned, then Ethereum becomes deflationary. And here at the burn leaderboard, you can see who is responsible for burning the most Ethereum. And so far we have Uniswap, that's ETH transfer, so that's just a lot of small wallets sending tokens to another wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. Then we also have layer 2 blockchains like Arbitrum, Linea, Starkware, Optimism, and there is a website for this too. It's called l2beat.com, and you can see all the different layer 2 blockchains. Now, a layer 2 blockchain just means you're building on top of another blockchain to make it faster and cheaper, and anytime we talk about L2 blockchains, we are referring to Ethereum, because Ethereum, slow and expensive, so blockchains build on top of that to leverage Ethereum's security, ecosystem, and tools to create a product. And as for L2 blockchains out there, there's a lot. There are 52 active projects, there are 43 upcoming projects, and there are 11 layer 3 projects. So a layer 3 blockchain is a blockchain on top of a blockchain on top of another blockchain. So that gets you to your layer 3. So by all these different blockchains building on top of Ethereum, that gives Ethereum more value, more Ethereum gets burned, and if Ethereum continues to be deflationary, every token out there is going to become more valuable. So that's why Ethereum has excellent tokenomics as long as people continue to use Ethereum and build on top of Ethereum. All right. We're not going to jump as deep on Cardano because I don't know it that well. Plus, this video will get very, very long. So this is what CoinGape says about Cardano. ADA has a fixed supply with a maximum of 45 billion tokens. It uses proof of stake consensus mechanism, which rewards and encourages the participation in governance. So with Cardano, it's another layer 1 blockchain. It is its own independent thing. And I don't use it. I don't really know a lot of people that do. I know a lot of people that hold it, but not a lot of people who actually participate in it, who like using their DeFi ecosystem. So I don't really have a lot to say about Cardano. But the way these blockchains work is that you need the token, in this case ADA for Cardano, to process any transactions in that blockchain. So that is the value proposition for most blockchains. And if you have a thriving DeFi ecosystem, then your token might perform well over time. So we're going to move on to Binance Coin, which does have a thriving ecosystem. Now, here's why they like it, and the reasons are: the design ensures quarterly token burns to reduce the supply over time. This makes the token scarce and easier to control. Yes, it does. I'm surprised that they included that, because if you go to bnbburn.info, it really shows the supply chart, how much has been burned in the last 7 days, the total burned, and the amount they're going for. So they started with 202 million BNB tokens, and their goal is to get that down to 100 million. So if you kind of think about that, the most that they can reduce their supply right now is by like 40%. And if we look at BSC scan to see how many transactions are actually happening out there, there's a lot. There's millions, around 4 million transactions per day, at least in the last month. And BNB chain does continue to grow. They started their own layer 2 blockchain, OP-BNB, OP-BNB. They use the OP stack, which is built by the Optimism team. And Optimism is a layer 2 blockchain. And that's just to say, BNB, really good tokenomics. They are building, they are expanding their resources, people use their blockchain, and the tokenomics right now are deflationary. Deflationary tokenomics, always good to see, because as less tokens become available, the tokens that are still in circulation become more valuable. So if you have that comboed in with more people using the network, you're going to have something valuable, but obviously not guaranteed or financial advice. That is just the thing we have to say when it comes to investing. You have to understand these ecosystems, and you have to understand the risk for the reward. Alright, this video is getting too long, so speed run. Chainlink, fixed supply, 1 billion tokens, utility, incentivized node operators. Missing some critical facts there, because to use any of Chainlink services, you have to pay using the Link token. Now, Chainlink is the leader in node providers, and they also offer many other services, including CCIP, the cross-chain interchain protocol, and if more and more of these other services start to use Chainlink, that just makes the Chainlink token more valuable as there is more demand. Alright, Litecoin. Now, I used to use Litecoin, but there are so many other better services out there, and I don't have a lot of hope for it in the long term. But anytime there is a short-term pump in crypto demand from the masses, Litecoin is easily available on every platform, especially on basic investing apps like Robinhood. They can list Litecoin very safely, but as for its tokenomics, not great. LTC is a utility token for transaction, fixed supply, goes through a halving. So basically, Litecoin does follow Bitcoin's tokenomics model, but it doesn't have the same weight of it, you know? Like, you can consider Bitcoin gold, they consider Litecoin silver, but Litecoin is more like, hey, this is also available, but now that we have newer resources, maybe we don't need this anymore. And I don't want to say anything too negative if you are a Litecoin holder, but there just hasn't been enough demand and innovation built in the Litecoin ecosystem that we've seen in other blockchains. Now, I only know a little bit about Solana, so you're going to get the information that I know, and this is what they say. Solana Tokenomics was designed to encourage user participation, blah, blah. Sol is a utility token, pay for transaction fees, designed to support governance. Alright, they missed the most important thing. There is no supply cap for Solana. It is very inflationary, and a lot of those inflationary rewards go to validators. So running these validators for Solana is very expensive, and from what I've seen and other articles and rumors going around, it's very expensive. So that's why the Solana supply continues to grow at a high rate, just because the validators aren't profitable. Now, don't take my word for that. That is just what I saw in a Crypto Chico video, and then he kind of laid out all the information and evidence really well, but I didn't do that firsthand, so I can't really say. And, you know, it's just where you get this information. It's like, you look at the token supply, you see that going up, and you see that it's very inflationary, which makes it very risky to hold long term. But then there's also other articles by Van Eck and how they think that Solana is going to continue to go up. And they're a big investing firm that has a lot more knowledge and resources than me. So I don't know, and maybe they don't either, because investing firms mess up all the time. Then we have Ripple, which no one uses. I'm just going to pass. We're just going to pass. Polkadot utility token used for, yeah, I think there's definitely more to it. I'm actually just really tired, and, there's a lot of overlap when it comes to tokenomics. But basically, you need way more information than like 2 lines to understand good or bad tokenomics. And what really matters is the users. Are people using that platform? And is that user base growing? Is there more TVL? And a whole lot of other different factors. You can have great tokenomics. That doesn't guarantee the price of anything is going to go up. You need a lot of different things like users, or you need marketing if you're looking at short-term stuff. So I hope you learned something from tokenomics, and if this video was helpful, you know what to do. And if you want to get started with Guild of Guardians, there is a link in the description. I know I threw in an ad there too, but yeah, I'm going to do that because I want to teach you something, and I also want to get paid for it without charging you, and it helps support the channel. So with that, I hope you got the full value and I got some full value. And I messed up that outro, but I'm not retaking this because I'm getting to sleep. It's late. All right. See ya.